What's going on, y'all? Hope everybody's having a good day. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's get into it, man. So, Young Thug had made a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, speaking on the conflicts regarding his friends that are on the free. Thug tags former collaborators Drake, Future, and MetroBoomin in a post where he states, "We all brothers. Music ain't the same without us collabing." Which I'm not sure, to be honest, how Thug is able to tweet from jail. I'm not sure if he tells someone to tweet for him or if he got the hookup in there. Needless to say, this is the first time we hear about the beef from Young Thug's perspective. I haven't seen much of him say anything, and how can we? He's been locked up for a minute, and though he has access to Twitter, he ain't really speak on the issue on there either from what I've seen. Until now. I'm sure Thug has a lot more to focus on worrying about someone else's problems, considering he's fighting for his life on RICO charges and having all his friends turn on him one by one. So I guess now he's reaching out to his collaborators and industry friends to see if they can still be cool. Saying that they're all brothers and music wouldn't be the same without them collabing is kind of obtuse. I get that Young Thug hasn't been in the music industry for quite some time, so I think it's safe to say that he isn't up to speed with how rap has been consumed in these past months. I'm sure he still listens to music. At this point, it's a blessing for him to even enjoy any type of music in his time incarcerated. But I don't think he's been able to see the reactions of the consumers and how people are digesting music these days. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. And the music that's forced on the general public isn't what listeners are feeling these days. With artists selling way below expectations, artists not hitting the charts like they used to, and lyricism being the key focus on people's minds these days, I don't think people see just exactly how Young Thug's take on music not being the same without them together is obtuse. Future and Metro had just won Best Rap Group / Duo at the Hip Hop Awards. For the collaborations they done, collaborations where they're also dissing Drake, Future is and has been beyond successful without Drake. Before the collabs, before the beef, before everything, Future never needed Drake, and giving the climate Drake's in, falling out of the charts in the first time in 2 years, if anything, Drake needs Future to collab with him more now than ever. Music hasn't been the same for Young Thug or Drake in this sense. Thug ain't dropped nothing. Last song he was on was 100 gigs with Drake on It's Up, and it probably would have stayed on there longer if Metro was on the beat and if Future was on the track also. It feels like Thug needs everything back in place before his release, and saying music ain't the same without them together when Future has had a major success on all his releases this year and sustaining his spot on the top 100 charts with a solo project and 2 duo projects with MetroBoomin. Music hasn't been the same since they split. If you ask me personally, I think it's been better for them. Lyricism has been the trending topic. The artists being pushed by labels have been doing poorly. Drake needs this moment of unity more than Thug does, more than anyone tagged in this post. If anything, this says a lot about Thug, showing he's still trying to hold on to surviving friends and trying to keep the people cool that he's been cool with. It's a respectable thing to see and for him to do behind bars. But as far as his take on the status on music not being the same without these individuals collabing, you can tell me how you feel in the comments. I think it hasn't been the same. I think it's been better. I also think it's been better for Metro and Future since their departure from Drake, which proves the point that Kendrick was trying to make in the first place. How he needs to run to Atlanta to get help from his former collaborators to get back on the charts. How he needs Atlanta, which being Thug in this case, to mediate and de-escalate the beefs for him. As far as Future responding to the tweet just by retweeting it, I just took it as a sign of acknowledgement. Future seeing Thug's tweet and reposting it is more of a sign of him acknowledging the response from Thug. I'm not sure the conversations that surround these individuals, but let me be clear that these guys are able to do their own thing and have had a stronger relationship with Drake than anyone. Metro hasn't responded to this either, but these artists, whether you realize it or not, they don't need Drake. Drake needs them. Young Thug could have been the person keeping things together, but he really needs to focus on his trial and the friends he has testifying on him before he worries about his friends in the music industry. There's no harm for him posting what he posted, but if I was him, I would not care about this beef between Drake and Metro and Future. It's the pettiest beef that Drake has. Compared to Kendrick and his beef, This beef with Future and Metro is so petty and small, it's a surprise they beefed in the first place. The speculation of this beef is that Drake had a new deal signed where he had to make 5 albums. It was speculated that Drake told Future if he wanted to do What a Time to Be Alive 2, which would have been a big payout for Future. However, Metro and Drake had beef over the song Trance. After this, it was speculated that Drake didn't want to do What a Time to Be Alive 2 anymore, possibly because Metro was the one to produce What a Time to Be Alive 1. Then goes and does Her Loss instead with 21 Savage, and this is kind of how this issue started. Like I said, it's super petty and it's a no-brainer why Thug wants this resolved. But Metro had said a lot of things after the beef started, and Future, even though he made albums with Metro and songs with Kendrick and The Weeknd, hasn't stated or posted anything regarding Drake online. But the disses speak for themselves, honestly. They speak a lot more and say a lot more than just a retweet from Thug. But like I said, their beef was more petty than anyone else involved, and I'm not sure of the conversations they've had behind closed doors. But what Future and Metro got going on are different than what Kendrick and everyone else got going on with Drake. Young Thug could have been the glue. This might be a fact, but we don't know if he's just doing this for himself. So when he gets out, if he gets out, things can go back to normal once he's back on the free. Remember, he did 100 gigs with Drake. So if Thug gets out, he would be on Drake's side technically. I'm not sure if Thug will be able to play both sides of the fence with Drake and Future and Metro. So I'm sure squashing the beef would be the best option. But what do y'all think? Y'all think Thug is squashing the beef for his own reasons? Or does he just hate to see his friends fight? Or does he need to focus on the trial? Either way, I agree when Thug says music ain't the same without them collabing. Because I personally think it's been better since they stopped collabing. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video, man. Peace.